Hey everyone, welcome to Toku Rambles. Today we're going to be reviewing the Decadriver. Now this is actually the 2018 re-release for Kamen Rider GO. That's when I got this one, and that's why it is a little beaten up, is because I've had it for so long. But this is essentially just the Super Best edition done up in a new box. And the difference between the 2009 original release and the Super Best release is that you actually get a Final Attack Ride card and the Final Form Ride cards. And they are now done up in a plastic material rather than a cardboard material, which you can see has some very nice marks on it. Now, I'm very late to the party on this thing, but hey, I really like Decade, and I've just ordered the CSM version 2, so what better way to make my first rider belt review be on such a great belt? So let's just get right into it. The one problem these cards have is that they have all these Gamba ride stats all over them, and the descriptions are in Japanese, which is just not show accurate. To better illustrate my point, here is a card from the Neo Decadriver, which is actually show accurate by having the words romanized into English there, and having the correct logo compared to this. Take it around the back as well, it's the same. It's in Japanese there, it's in English up there. So it's a shame, but hey, it is what it is, and the cards still work the same. It's just something to note. As I mentioned in the intro, we have 20 rider cards, which can be divided into 3 sections. We have our 10 rider cards, we have 1 Final Attack Ride card, and then we have Final Form Ride cards for Kuga through to Kiva. Now that we've got the cards out of the way, we can bring in the driver itself, which is really nice looking. I've always liked the simplistic look of this belt. I think it just looks really great, and you can see it even matches my ring light, which is just a real bonus. No, but in all seriousness, the detail work on this thing is really quite nice. Everything from the rim being done up in this very nice metallic silver paint with the nice texturing, to all of the little rider symbols from Kuga through to Decade there. Coming up to the top, we have the word Decade printed in. Unfortunately, this button gets in the way a little bit, but that is used for something a bit later on. Coming down to the bottom, we have our on and off switch and our speaker. If we flick it on, we get, you see a nice sound and an LED as well. I'll do that from the front. We have 2 lights, one there and one there. We also have some very nice matte textured paint there that is continued into the handles and the belt there. Now I said handles because our action feature of this belt is to open it up. Very, very nice, very satisfying gimmick. I really like that. Now with the belt open, we can press down this button I mentioned earlier to remove the centerpiece. And that'll give us a look at the buckle itself, which has a lot of really, really nice detail work in there. I really, really like that. Even though that most of the time this is hidden away, it's really impressive, and I just really like the attention to detail in this thing. We can even get a better look at the printing up the top there, which is very nice. Coming around the back, you may have noticed this whole time I've had this belt piece connected, and that's because this is an older style belt. Where only one side is removable. So this is kind of permanently attached, unless you do some modification work, which I'm not game enough to do. But we can get this out of the way and take a look at the very lovely detail work on the back there, mirroring the front there with our circular pattern and sort of the barcode motif there. You'll also notice that on the belt it continues this pattern, which they actually did do for the removable side. Speaking of which, it's just a typical belt. It's got some very nice texture work, but it's nothing to write home about. It's got our clip up there. Not very exciting, but hey, it does the job. Now we'll attach it back on and get down to some henshin noises. So I'm going to show off these 3 cards. It's one of each type before I get into the demo. So to do Decade's henshin, we're going to take the card, and it doesn't actually matter which way you insert it into the driver, as the barcode is on the same spot regardless. But we'll be show accurate and we'll do it the proper way. So, then close the belt. Very, very nice. I love the voice. I love the simplistic transformation sound. It's really cool, and it just really works. This also gives us an opportunity to take a look at the completed Decadriver look with our Decade symbol in the center there. It is really nice looking, and it's a really nice complement to the other 9 symbols. Now to do Decade's Dimension Kick, we'll bring in our Final Attack Ride card. Now, whilst I do think that is a cool announcement, the fact that it is lacking any sound effects or even a simple explosion really does kill a lot of the roleplay in my opinion. It just kind of makes this card feel generic, and as you'll see with the Final Form Ride cards, it really doesn't differentiate itself enough, which is kind of upsetting, but it is what it is, right? Speaking of our Final Form Ride card, we'll bring in just Kugas because Yusuke, and I love Yusuke in the show. As you can see, the same generic noise. Before I get into the demo for the 9 Kamen Ride cards, I just want to show off their design because I think that these look really great. Even with all this Gamba Ride crap all over them, there's something about the rider portrait with their symbol and the purple motion blur. They just look really great. The laminated film also just really helps, and I think that this gimmick is just really good looking, and it's always just been a favorite of mine. So let's just get into the sounds. Now you may have noticed that those sounds are actually faster, more concise versions of the Henshin sound. Some of them are actually a little too concise. I think Agito and Kiva, the way that they just kind of end, there's no fade out or anything, it's just boom, gone. But hey, the fast-paced and more concise versions of these Henshin sounds actually helps the belt differentiate itself, even from their original counterparts, and it matches the fast form changing that Decade would do in the show, and it actually helps the toy feel like a really fun, fast-paced action toy, along with the very satisfying. It's a really great thing, and I actually just really like the way that it sounds. Now I'm going to do the same concise sound demo for these, really because they don't do anything, but I wanted to show off the designs for these as well, because I think they are also really nice. All of the Decade cards look really great, and these actually don't have as many Gamba Ride stats on them, presumably because they weren't used as heavily. I really don't know how the Gamba Ride stats work, so yeah, but it's a nice addition, and I think these do look really solid. So that wraps it up for the DX Decadriver. Do I recommend this thing? Yeah, I do. I think this is a really great version, considering even the original CSM is still quite expensive, and version 2 was just, whew! But as a big Decade fan myself, I really do like this thing, even though it does have some shortcomings. Unfortunately, I can't actually demonstrate it. None of the Attack Ride cards would make any unique sounds, nor would the Form Ride cards. Say you had a slash attack card, it would just say Attack Ride Decade. Same if you had a Form Ride card. Say you had Kuga's Titan form, it would just say Form Ride Kuga, which has always been a big downside of this. It's something that is unfortunate, but hey, it's the DX toy. However, this set does quite a lot. You get 10 unique Henshin sounds, you get 1 final attack sound, and although the final form rides don't really do anything, it is really nice to have them included. So I feel like value for money, this is a great set to get, as there is still a lot of unique sounds in this thing. And it's really cool looking. I just really like the way it looks. I love the voice, and the sound effects are great. So if you can pick one up for a decent price, I would really recommend it. But thank you to everyone for watching. If you liked the video, please consider hitting that like button. And if you really, really love the video, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you'd like to see some more content, there is the Toku Toy Bites playlist, and you can watch some of my other videos as well. But thank you very much again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one, guys.